In this example, a pilot is flying from city A to B and then on to C. And he has to stop over at city B, and his plane has a range of 650 miles. And the question is, can he make it without refueling? All right. So basically, we want to find those distances, add them up, and see if it's less than 650 miles. Otherwise, he better take on some fuel in at city B. All right. So let's find these distances. All right. I'm going to call this distance D1 and this distance D2. And conveniently, we're given some coordinates here for these. For each of these cities. So city A is at 0, 0, city B is at 200, 50, city C is at 600, 320. All right, so we can use those coordinates and the distance formula to figure out these distances. So D1 is just going to be the square root of, okay, we're going to look at the difference in the x values. All right, so we have 200 minus 0, quantity squared, and then we're going to take the difference in the y values. So 50 minus 0, quantity squared. All right, we make that computation and we get 206.16 miles. Okay, so that gets him to city B. Now he has to fly from B to C, so I'm going to call that D2. And so I'm just, again, going to use the distance formula since they've given us coordinates. So I need to take the difference in the x coordinates. So 600 minus 200 and then square it. And then I'm going to take the difference in the y coordinates. So 320 minus 50 and then square it. Now, just as a side note, you could subtract these in the opposite order. I could take 200 minus 600 and square it. I could take 50 minus 320 and square it. Now, obviously, when you subtract the larger number from the smaller number, you're going to get a negative value. But when you square it, it'll become positive, and it'll be exactly the same as what it would be if I subtracted in the order that I've written here. Okay, so it doesn't matter what order you subtract in, because you're squaring it. All right, so I'm going to put that in my calculator. I get 482.60 miles. All right, so if I add up those distances, right, the total distance is going to be the sum of those distance. So I'm going to add 206.16 plus 482.60. And I find out that the total distance is 688 miles and 688.676 miles. Can't talk today. All right, so that's bigger than 650. So he better take on some fuel. He better fuel up in city B. So the answer to this question is no. The pilot must refuel. The pilot must refuel in city B because he's not going to make it otherwise. Alrighty, I'll meet you in the next video.